Hey guys, it's me, Ruined Wuju. Today, we are going to take a look at my personally preferred way to build and play Gnar, a champion I've achieved level 7 mastery on and 1 trick to gold with. This is just my opinions and preferences, so by no means should this be considered the best or only way to play Gnar. He is a great champion with a ton of different ways to play him. Before the video starts, if you need to get to the info a little faster, I've went ahead and made a table of contents splitting up the guide. Feel free to hop around. So let's get started. This is a guide to Gnar. Firstly, we will get our runes and mastery sorted out. We will begin with our rune page. This build focuses on getting an upper hand in the early game, which is reflected by these choices. I take full attack damage marks, armor seals, and magic resist blues. For our quints, I prefer to take 2 move speed and 1 attack damage. This results in 3% move speed, 12 magic resist, 11 attack damage, and 9 armor. Masteries are standard AD basic selections. In the ferocity tree, we have 5 in fury, 1 in double-edged sword, 5 in vampirism, into 1 in bounty hunter. And cunning, we are going to take 5 in wanderer, 1 in assassin, followed by 5 in merciless, 1 in dangerous game, and 5 in precision. Then finally, Thunderlord's decree. This should leave us with 12 in red and 18 in perps. Now that we have our pregame settled, let's talk about our build path once we are in the game. Every game, I prefer to start with a longsword, health pots, and yellow trinket. The reason we want to take longsword over Doran's is so we can purchase Horam's fist on our first back, as well as some boots. Horam's gives a nice bit of AD, as well as a decent amount of HP for sustain, and we will build it into our first full item, Frozen Mallet. I will cover this a little bit more later in the video, but Mallet gives us a huge advantage during 1v1 fights and works extremely well with our W passive, thanks to its 30% slow on hit. This, plus the substantial amount of health it gives and AD, makes this item a must build on Gnar. Immediately following Frozen Mallet, we are going to build our Black Cleaver, another must build item, thanks to its double passive, HP, and cooldown reduction. At around the same time we complete our cleaver, we are going to finish our boots by building Mercury's treads. The tenacity they give helps us out a lot, and because we are building primarily armor items next, it helps us to not get crushed by AP carries throughout the mid and late game. Of course, feel free to sub this out if the enemy team has a Zed or some other AD mid or an AD jungle. Now for our tanky items, it's almost always a coin flip for me. After completing our cleaver and boots, I like to either build Randuin's or Sunfire Cape first. Because they are both the same price, it always comes down to the game. If I see the ADC is getting ahead, or if the top or jungle are auto attack based, Randuin's helps significantly due to its passive. However, Sunfire's passive is extremely strong, and I tend to build it to keep pressure in lane. And because it builds out of a chain vest, I can have more armor earlier. In any case, both items are a must build when it comes to me, although if you build one, feel free to build the other last if you need more MR. This leads me to the final item in the build, which always involves MR. By late game, the AP carries will be doing a lot of damage, and even though you will be able to survive the burst, you won't be able to take focus from the enemy team as well as the enemy mid laner for very long. It's usually a choice between 2 items, a ZZ Rot portal or a Banshee's Veil. I usually build ZZ Rot if we need a lane to push out or if I need a bit more armor as well as the MR. As for Banshees, I will build it if the enemy team's AP carry is fed and focusing me. So almost all possible games come out to these few builds. Now that items are out of the way, we can get to how to play during the phases of the game, how to fight in lane, and how to fight with your team. During the early game, you usually want to play a bit aggressive. By taking Q at level 1, we want to use it mainly to harass the other laner. Until you achieve level 2, I wouldn't suggest autoing the enemy laner as your damage output is relatively low. However, as soon as you do hit level 2, begin to harass when they come up to CS, as now that you have your W passive, you will begin doing a lot more damage if you achieve the 3-hit proc. Just be sure to keep an eye on your rage bar, as we don't want to go mega until we hit our level 3, and once we do, we want to fight as quickly as possible. Level 3 Mega is a huge power spike for Gnar, and should be abused to either force the enemy laner under tower or get a kill. When fighting at level 3, I'd suggest staying back until your Mega is ready to proc on your next ability. Once your rage is full, E to a minion to get to the enemy laner and immediately try to land a stun. If you fail, fall back and push the wave. However, if you land the stun, it is very likely you can get a kill by immediately following up with your Q, which does a massive amount of damage when in Mega form. After you exit Mega and begin to level up to 4 and 5, Gnar is weak. It is important to back after your level 3 engage and buy items in order to have a strong next engage at level 6. Due to his weak stage at levels 4 and 5, the lane is likely to be pushed to your tower, and if not, be sure to fall back a bit once you hit 6. Once you do, you want to repeat your level 3 engage, except try and force the enemy laner near a wall. As with your previous engage, you want to E to a minion and bounce forward to your Mega form, and follow up with an ult into likely this wall or this one. If you achieve the ult stun, follow up with a W for a stun lock, then with a Q. This and a couple of autos should secure the kill. After this point, the lane is basically yours. You should be purchasing your mallet soon, and with that item, you want to kite fights and harass until Mega, then repeat the engage again. Rinse and repeat this process until the laning phase is over, and it should be a breeze. If you know how to target properly, Gnar is one of the best top laners in a team fight. As a Gnar, communicate with your team to force fights in small places, like in your Drake or Baron, in the jungle, or under towers. These are areas a good Gnar thrives in, and by properly managing your rage, you should be the front line and engage your team fights. You want to use your E to gain a proper position on the enemy team to use your ult effectively. Use your E to either get to a group up of enemy players, get to the ADC, or get to the AP carry. Immediately follow up with either a W if you need to change your position a bit, or just with your ult if you are in the correct place. After doing either of these things, follow up with your Q, and then stick around to pick off anybody who got away, or fall back to begin peeling for your carries if the enemy team survives, or if you couldn't achieve a proper engage. And that should cover just about everything. I really hope you guys loved watching this video, and you enjoyed the guide, and hopefully it helps you out a little bit in a ranked game or a norm. And I wanted to say I'm sorry for not uploading as much as I really should be. The channel is actually doing great right now. I just gained like a few subscribers off of that last video, and it's kind of made me feel like maybe I could actually like get this thing going, and I've experienced some kind of like fire to start making more videos again. I hope you guys like this kind of content. I was thinking about doing guides for more champions. Let me know if you like this or if you don't at all, and if you have some feedback, I'd love to know what I should add or anything I should take away that was kind of like off topic or whatever. But besides that, I wanted to thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys look forward to the next video, because I'm really looking forward to making another. This has been Ruined Wuju. Thanks a bunch for watching.